Hello and welcome to Insights. This is Hari Kumar. Ever since Ukraine-Russia war began, Indian media have been reporting the war from a Western perspective. But of late, the reportage in Indian media have shown significant changes. It seems that Indian media have been depending on Western news agencies like Associated Press or Reuters for getting news from the war front. Very few Indian media have reporters in Moscow or Ukraine. So normally they follow what the Western agencies say. However, there have been many reports of late which say about Russia advancing into Ukrainian territories. Earlier, the narratives were like Ukraine successfully defending their territory or even driving out Russian forces. And there were many apprehensions that Russia would eventually collapse and Ukraine war is going to be a Waterloo for Putin. But the fact is that even 2 years after the war, now Ukraine is showing signs of desperation. The Ukrainian government has already removed their military chief, and perhaps all these aspects have influenced the new outlook of Indian media. You remember that Indian media reported in a particular way or reflected Western perspective despite almost all of the political parties, the government, and even the general public expressing support for Russia. So this is a sort of surprise for everybody that Indian media tend to repeat Western perspectives while the public opinion or public discourse on is against Ukraine or NATO. So recently, a journalist from Kerala who has been in Moscow for several years, he spoke to certain Malayalam media and expressed his difference of opinion with the way in which Indian media have been reporting Russia-Ukraine war. He said when he read Indian newspapers, he was surprised. The guy is named Devadath, is a professor in a media institute in Moscow now. So he said reports in Indian newspapers say Russia is in deep trouble or Russian economy has suffered. According to Mr. Devadath, Russian economy has actually grown during the war. This could sound like a contradiction, but he says he has certain reasons for his opinion. He says Russia has got inherent technological strengths. So when the war started and sanctions were imposed on Russia by the West, what really helped Russia was Russia doubled their initiatives on domestic manufacturing. And initially, there were some problems for Russia. Like if you go to a supermarket, the choices were limited during that period. But Russia has overcome that, and actually, Russian economy is thriving now. And we need to read this against the backdrop that India imported crude oil worth more than 39 billion US dollars from Russia in 2023. India used to import very little crude from Russia earlier. So actually sanctions have actually helped Russia to develop their own products. This is what Mr. Devadath said. He said the manufacturing activities in Russia on military front, on consumer product front, and on all other areas have improved vastly over these 2 years. And meanwhile, Russia has made significant advances on the war front also because Russian army has captured Kherson, a, Avdiivka, an area on the eastern Ukraine, and they have also made good advances in Kherson.